Dropping off my child's hospital over here. Dude, all set up. I am. I'm just standing on this wall. I'm gonna have to be here. I don't know where you want to put this. Yeah, that's good. It is whale. I was like, where are we going with that? I know, I'm thinking. Oh, no.
Hey. Okay. Well, if you could just respond, that would be great. To let me know that you're ready. Ready? Sound check. Good morning. Welcome to the second game for the Hatters in the Peachtree
tournament here for Atlanta. We've got our Hatters in green, listed as the away team for the tournament, though you'll recognize we are on our home ice. And in the Smoky Mountain Wild, in their white jerseys, white socks, sitting on the home bench. Referees have completed their final checks. Coaches offered their last words of advice for the players to take the ice. For the Hatters starting line, we have McNally, Puckett, Miller, Wells, and Adams defensively. And between the pipes, Troy Jensen. Face-off win for the Wild. Send it back in deep. Puck skips free. Puckett holds his own. Wild trying to clear. Miller on the forecheck. Adams holds zone, sends it across. Wild pick up the loose puck. Wells holds, sends it in deep, just wide of the net. Wild chase it in the corner. Mishandle there. Shot on net from Miller. Blocker save. Puck bounces off the boards. Shot in from Wells. Miller picks up a loose puck. It floats through in the middle. Puck pursues. Backhanded attempt to centering pass. Wild finally clear the zone. Wells picks up the puck in neutral ice. Where the Wild loses an edge. They chip it into the zone. Adams picks up the puck, sends it around the board. Devaney is now on the ice. Wild sends it back into the corner. Puckett picks it up behind the net. Line change for the Hatters. Puckett chips it forward. Contact in the center. Icing is waved off. Ridley pursues into the corner. Wild send it up the boards. Full line change for the Hatters now. Skips through, chipped in behind. Rubino. Stick checks puck into the corner. Bernardo ties up two Wild. Ridley with stick left. Wild hold, shot, save, Jensen. They're all the moving pieces for the Hatters. We have Devaney, Bernardo, Ridley, Rubino, and Moore. Face-off win Wild. Back to the point. Moore gets a stick in there, intercepts the centering pass. Bernardo loses an edge. Puck skips right around. Rubino sends it up the board. Wild intercept. Clearing attempt black from the Wild. Stick handles around. Bernardo shot. Blocked by Bernardo. Shot saved by Jensen. Bernardo picks up loose puck on the break. We're going to have contact at the blue line. 2 edges lost. Hatters hold the zone. Defensive line change for the Hatters. Wells and Cashoffer replacing Rubino and Moore. Centering pass shot. Save. Wild control out of the corner. Hatters temporarily hold the zone, but the Wild pick up the loose puck. Send it across neutral ice. Cashoffer chips the puck back out of the zone. Ridley gets it across the red line. Buying a little bit of time for a line change for the Hatters. Puckett picks up the loose puck, sends it in deep. Cashoffer chases against the board. Ends up with the puck, sends it around for Bain. Bain gets a stick check. Centering pass, blocked, and then chipped clear from Puckett. Wild off the board. Send it around the corner, centering pass, nobody home for the Wild. Cashoffer picks it up, chips it up ice. Wild hold, shot, save, Jensen. Glove that off the iron. No chance of a rebound on that. Full. Finishing out the line change for the Hatters. Miller, Puckett, McNally, Rubino, Adams. McNally has the puck, sends it into the center off his skate. Puckett chases, backhands across, slides across. Miller misses on the jam. Rubino from the point, stick block from the Wild. Hatters are back. Adams blocks off the skate, loses the stick. Shot, save Jensen. Wild hold it. Adams finally gets the stick back. Puck swings all the way around the boards. Wild sends it in deep. Puckett chips up the boards, bounces over Miller's stick, sent in. High and hard from the Wild, from the point. Shot, blocked off a skate. Puck is still loose behind the net. Rubino ties it up in the corner. Adams picks it loose. Miller chases it in the far corner, up the boards. Dinks himself into the center. Cross ice to McNally. McNally out to the wing. Centering pass. Tipped just wide by Miller. Puckett picks up loose puck. Backhand centering pass. Blocked by the Wild. Puck ends up out of the point. McNally controls. Centering pass. Stick block from the Wild. Off of Puckett's skate into the corner. Adams holds according to Stripes. McNally with a stick check. Takes it back out of the zone. Wild runs into the referee. Bernardo pursues on the back check, on the forward check. Breaks the puck loose. Wells picks it up, chips it off the boards. It's gonna roll. Icing is waved off. Wild plays it high off the board, send it back behind the net. Bernardo chases it into the corner, rolls free. Ridley clears it back across the ice. Wild sends it up. Wells misplays the puck as it goes into the corner. Ian Moore picks it up, sends it around the boards. The centering pass blocked off of Wells' skate. Shot misses. Ends up in the corner. Bernardo controls the loose puck. It clears the zone. Sent back in by the Wild in deep. Partial defensive line change. Cashoffer chips it loose. sends it out to Ridley, ends up bouncing off the skate, off the boards. Weird bounce off the board. Stick check clears for the casual offer. On net for Devaney. Bernardo ties up the puck along the board. Ridley comes away with it. Backhand centering save for the Wild. They're on the rush. Off the skate. Kasparov picks up the loose puck, loses an edge. Chips it back into the center. Shot blocked from Bernardo. Picks up the puck, sends it around the corner. Adams in deep. Adams Bernardo in the corner with tie up 2 Wild. Adams tries to clear, puck is held. Ends up back in deep. Bernardo chips it wide, clears the zone, but it's going to be too steep not steep enough off the boards. We're going to have icing. It skipped just over Ridley's stick on that clear. Face off, restart, come to Jensen's right. Wild wins, skips back to the center. Jensen stick saves. Bain picks it up. Misses puck at stick. We're going to have a second set of icing. Face off restart, coming to Jensen's glove side. And Puckett's going to be asked to leave the circle on his early start. Bain takes over. Out to the wall, blocked from Wells. Wild hold. Wells chipped it back to the blue line. Wild hold again. Puckett on the back check. Recovers from his break. Wells picks up the loose puck behind, chips it. Clearing attempt blocked by the Wild. Sends it back around to Bain. Bain picks up the puck. Chips it to Wells. Wells off the wall, backhand. Loose through. Wild hold again. Wells is finally able to chip it clear. Hollow in pursuit. Rubino ties up sticks. Wells ties up sticks. Hollow picks up the loose puck, gets it free of the zone. Floats it into. Ian Moore picks up the loose puck in neutral ice. Chips it off the boards of Puckett. Puckett sends it in deep. 2:45 remaining in the first. Wild control behind the net. Adams forces the puck back in deep. Line change for the Hatters. Wild are going to send it. Stripes waves off icing. Adam picks up the loose puck, chips it free of the zone. Wild tip it back in. Adam bodies on the spin. Gets it clear of the zone. Clearing attempt, saved off the shin guard of Wild. McNally stick checks the puck free. Wild sends it in deep. Adams misplaces puck. Sends it in the corner for Bernardo. Bernardo sends it around for Moore. Moore's clearing attempt, blocked. Wild kick it free out from behind the net. Slides into the corner. Moore's challenge. Bernardo clears. And we're going to have an inverted stick offside. Mild collision between Bernardo and a Wild player. Stick ended up underneath the bird cage. Offside on the Hatters. Restart coming near side. Devaney, Puckett, Ridley, Castle for Rubino on the ice. Shot, tip attempt, slid just through for Jensen save and cover. 1:15 remaining in the first. Bernardo replaces Puckett on the ice. Faceoff goes to the boards. Castle into the corner. Ridley takes it free. Ridley clears. Wild pick it up and neutralize. We're going to have offside as Wild was not able to clear the zone. Neutralize restart coming in front of the Hatters bench. Hatters change defensively. Wells and Adams still back on the ice. Nardo and Puckett also switch back. 55 seconds remaining. Puck pops out of the Hatters zone. The arm went up, but then the referees waved off icing. 40 seconds remaining. Puck behind the net for the Hatters. Still loose behind the net. It chips forward and then sent back into the corner. Wild clear, bounces, careens off the board. Shot from distance from Devaney. Puck held from Adams, sent back in. Ridley with a shot, loses an edge, and squirts wide. 5 seconds remaining. Wild just happy to kill. Again, the puck is coming off the board weird. And at the end of 1-0-0. And start of the second, after the end change, Jensen remains in the goal. Hatters have Rubino and Moore defensively. Hollow, Bernardo, and Bain for their forwards. Wild win puck back on the faceoff. Sent up, Rubino tips it out of the zone, sent into the corner by the Wild. Rubino chases. Ties it up in the corner. Puck squirts free, centering pass. Nobody home for the Wild. Clears the zone. Follow on the forecheck. Rubino sends it in. Icing waved off. Kahlo pursues. Moore holds the puck at the blue line, but it bounces off a skate. Wild picks up the puck, but Boehm on the back check. Controls. Rubino gets it out of the zone. And it's going to bounce by the Wild for an offside. Restart coming near side. And we're going to have full line change for both teams here. Correction. Referees are restarting center dot. Miller, Bernardo, McNally, Moore, Wells defensively. Correction, Adams, Wells defensively. Wild on the rush. Wells drives it into the corner. McNally blocks the centering pass, comes almost around the board, and then bounces off. Icing waved off. It's going to be on net. Wild take it behind the net. Clear the zone. Wells picks it up for neutral ice. Chips it up high. It's going to bounce into the zone. McNally picks up the puck on the delay. Shot. Glove save. Restart coming to the Wild Keepers stick side. On ice for the Hatters after line change. Devaney, Puckett, Ridley, Cashoffer, and Moore. Face-off win to the boards for Puckett. Chipped up just wide of the net from Ridley. Cashoffer slows down the rush. Shot from distance. Save Jensen. And he is content to hold that. Restart coming to Jensen's glove side. Face-off win back for Bernardo. Puck off a stick. Bernardo picks it up. Wild loses an edge. Dumped in from Bernardo, is on net. Keeper plays it. Wild send it up the board, go across ice. Cashoffer chases into the corner. Clear shot, save. And the Wild are able to chip the rebound. Face-off win for the Wild. Kahlo pursues. Bernardo intercepts, chips it in deep and dumps and chase. Wild pick it up behind the net. Kahlo blocks the clear. Bernardo ends up with the puck. Rubino not able to hold. Rolls in, but Kahlo is stuck behind the play. And we're going to have offside. Restart coming near dot. 9 minutes remaining in the second. Full line change for the Hatters. Miller, Puckett, McNally, Rubino, Adams. Face-off win back for the Wild. We control out, send it up off the board. Rubino picks up the puck in the zone, sends it up off on the clear, held by the Wild. Puck still here against the near boards. Backhanded out of the zone. Wild control, McNally on the forecheck. still with the pressure, forcing it in deep. Wild hold on the clear. Miller challenges. Ventures able, clears the zone. Rubino forces it back into the corner. Chips it up the board. Wild controls. Stripes is in the way. Miller not able to get to that puck. Wild send it in deep. Rubino's going to let it wheel around. Chips it up off the board. Wild hold. Knuckling puck. Block from Adams. Rubino challenges in the corner. Adams comes for backup. Holds it around. Rubino save off the boards. Held by Wild. Miller's able to clear. It goes off. It's not touched by Wild, so we're going to have icing to Jensen's stick side. 7:40 remaining in the second. Line change for the Hatters. Bain, Bernardo, Kahlo, Wells, cash offer. Face off win to the boards for Bernardo. Bain picks up the loose puck, carries it out of the zone, carries into the zone, forces an entry. Carries all the way back through. Wild end up with it behind. Bernardo chases. Wild to the center for the clear. Bain forces a check. Shot from distance. We end up having a Jensen save. Hatters turn it over in their defensive zone. We're going to have roughing from Bernardo as collision in the corner. And the Wild are going to go onto the power play. Halfway through the second, we're going to have a keeper change with Carroll coming in for Jensen. Penalty kill for the Hatters. Puckett, Moore, Adams, and Miller. We've ended up with two Hatters in. Shot, save from the, no, not save. Bounce between Dalen's legs. There's still some confusion over in the scoring box as to what is happening on the penalty. Looked like we have a major called on Bernardo as he is still in the box. Face-off win for the Wild. A clear, and more challenges. Holds the puck on the delay. Puckett gets back on the back check. Loses the handle on the puck. Wild with an odd man rush. Centering pass, bounces over a stick. Adams pick up a loose puck. Hatters rush to their own. Shot, blocker save. Ridley controls, centering pass off a skate. Wild wheel it around. Devaney picks up the puck, low and hard, blocked. Puckett mishandles. Wild carried into the zone. Centering pass blocked. Bouncing around. Wild still control. Centering pass high off the iron and into the net. Face-off win for the Wild. It squirted free into the center. Centering pass blocked by Wells. He chips it forward. Glove down by the Wild. Sent back into the corner. Wells reverses direction. Puck is loose in front of the net. McNally chases. Chip back into the corner. Rubino off the body. Carries it behind the net. Runs the wheel. Bame clears the zone. Pass forward to McNally is picked off. Collision with Wells at the blue line. McNally sends it in deep. Kahlo pursues. Wild get it up the board. Bame holds. Shot from Rubino through the legs. Stick save on the backhand attempt from Kahlo. Wells holds. Whistle blows for offside there. On ice for Hatters, Ridley, Puckett, Miller, Kashelhofer, Moore. Kashelhofer delays the man. Moore misses on the clear shot wide of the net. Kashelhofer picks it off the board, gets it up to Miller. Miller clears the zone. Puck ends up at Puckett's feet. Hatters are just flipping pucks. Stick around Miller on 2-on-1 backhand wide of the net. Ridley chases it in the corner. He's got two Wild on him. Wild clear. Kashelhofer delays the entry enough that he draws the offside call. Restart coming in front of the Wild bench. Line change for the Hatters. Devaney, Bame, Wells, Adams, and McNally on ice. Wild face-off win. They chip it in from the red line. Wells tries to tip it up the board. A sliding block from Adams. Wells picks up a loose puck. It gets it off the board. Wild holds. Hand goes up again. Power play for the Wild. Adams heads to the box. We would call a trip. Shot sticked down by Wells. Off a skate. Puck clears the zone. Wild are going to have to clear and reset. Shot from distance. And it goes in. Wild up 3-0. 3 minutes remaining in the second. Face-off win forward for the Hatters. Cashelhofer keeps it out of the zone. Kahlo picks up the loose puck, carries it in, chips it forward. Just misses Ridley on the entry. Puck sent back out by Wells. Puckett kicks it free of the zone. Rubino sends it wide. Kahlo picks up the loose puck, carries it in to the zone, and then chips it in deep. Wild play it behind the net. They get it out to the point. Rubino's not able to hold. He plays it back to Cashelhofer. Cashelhofer chips it up off a skate. Confusion on the entry. Cashelhofer sends it in. Sticked away. Wild chip it free of the zone. Icing is waved off. Ridley picks up loose puck behind. Wheels it for Cashelhofer. Just misses the handle. Ridley backs him up as it comes back around. Shot low and hard. Blocked from the Hatters. Wild loses a glove. Puckett kicks it forward off the skate. Still kicking it forward off the skate. And then Wild stopped the entry. Cashelhofer delays the pass. Sends it in off of the Wild skate. Hatters change it up defensively. Puck floats through neutral ice. Moore sends it wide. Just misses from Puckett. Kahlo pursues. Wild chip it out. Puckett ties up 3. Hand goes up for icing. Restart's going to come to Carroll's stick side. 55 seconds remaining in the second. Wild pick up the loose gear. On ice, Fame, Miller, Wells, Moore, and McNally. Wells stops the entry, gets it back out of zone. The Wild chips it up. McNally loses it at her feet. Centering pass for the Wild, stick down. McNally tries to clear it off of Miller's skate. Moore picks it up behind the net. 25 seconds remaining. McNally clears the zone, sends it forward, just wide of Miller. Wild pick it up on the entry. Hand goes up for icing. 2 seconds remaining in the second. One final go for the Hatters in the second period. On ice for the last 2, Puckett, Ridley, Devaney, Wells, Cashelhofer. Wild control the face-off behind the net, and that will close out the second period. After an even matched first period, Wild come out firing heavy and put up 3 in the second period. right, start of the third. Last gas for the Hatters here. Devaney, Puckett, Ridley, Rubino, Moore, and Carroll on the ice. Wild control the face-off, but turn it over neutral ice. Wild chips it in. Rubino holds it out. Wild chips it back in. And the call is either going to be offside or puck out of play. Rubino picks up the face-off, chips it clear of the zone. Wild reset. Puckett loses his stick. Rubino holds it out of the zone. Puckett recovers his stick. Wild is content to delay here a little. Wild skates it up. Back check from Puckett. He chips it clear of the zone. Ridley on the rush. Wild holds his own for the Hatters. In clear, Hatters collision in neutral ice. We're going to have odd man rush off of the skate. Wild hold. They send it back in deep. Rubino picks up the loose puck as it comes behind the net. Chips it forward. Wild hold, and then Puckett knocks it back out. It's going to be off net. So the hand is going to go up for icing. Face off coming to Carroll's stick side. Line change for the Hatters. Kahlo, McNally, Bernardo, Wells, and Kashelhoff on the ice. Face-off win goes wide for the Wild. Nobody plays it. Bernardo chases it into the corner. Carries it behind the net. Sends it around to Kahlo. Kahlo picks up the puck at the line. Rolls through. Carries it into the zone. Centering pass. Whiffs on the centering pass. Wells, shot from the corner. Tipped just over the net by Bernardo. Bernardo on the forecheck, sends it out to Wells deep. Puck knuckles on Wells. Wild control. Kahlo with a stick check. Ends up on Bernardo's tape. McNally gets it back in the zone. McNally on the Kahlo clears. 9:30 remaining in the third. Wild enter the zone. Shot off of Alex's stick. Bernardo with the stick lift. Controls. Chips back forward. Clearing pass is stopped by the Wild. Plays it back to Wells. Wells to Bernardo. Bernardo to the center for McNally. McNally picks it up on her tape. Miller pursues. Dumped in by the Wild. Wells picks it up. Offensive line change for the Hatters. Wells tips up the board. It goes off a Wild skate into the zone. Boehm in pursuit. Over pursues. Puckett over pursues. But just enough time for the Hatters to get a defensive line change. Boehm picks up the loose puck. Chips it up off the board for Puckett. Wild are in a line change. Their defenders are back. Off the boards. Hand does not go up on the trip there. Neutralized turnover for the Hatters. Rubino tries to get it up to Puckett, but it's held. Hatters can't get out of their own way. as we're finding 2 and 3 Hatters on the puck at a time. Rubino clears it. Miller sends it forward to Puckett. Puckett on the back end, forehand, shot over the glove, centering pass, nobody home. Moore chases it into the corner. Wild pick his pocket. Adams holds, carries it back in deep, down into the slot. Sends it out to Moore, shot from distance. Moore sticked away from the Wild. Rolls into the corner. Shot, sticked away. Puck is loose in front of the net. Wild send it in behind. Ridley pursues. Puckett picks it up behind. Reverses direction. On the ground for the wraparounds. Kicked away for the Wild. Moore is not able to hold. Puck is called offside, even though it went off a Wild skate. Line change for the Hatters. Ridley, Bernardo, Devaney, Wells, and Adams. Devaney controls from the restart. Bernardo pursues. Ridley picks up the loose puck, carries in deep, shot blocked. Wild clear the zone up. We're gonna have man rush, shot wide, carries it back around. Centering pass, blocked, sticked away by Adams. Shot, tipped up wide over the net by Wells. Bernardo chases into the corner. Wild control, shot behind the net. Devaney chases it to the boards. Tries to chip it up the boards, blocked. Tries to press his way out. Devaney still tied up in the corner. Bernardo picks away the loose puck, carries it to the wings, cuts hard back into the center. Ridley's on support. Shot, blocker saved. And it's going to bounce way wide. Wells going to have to pick up the puck on his own, pursued behind, wheels it around. Devaney controls. It ends up on Bernardo's stick, carries it into the zone. Dinks wide. Rolls behind the net. He's got 2 Wild tied up in the back. Puck goes up off. It's blocked out of the zone by the Wild. Wells in pursuit. And we're going to have a terrible call for hooking. And again, the Wild will go on the power play. .5:10 remaining in the game. Power play for the Wild. Shot goes off a Wild player. Shot from the point goes again off a Wild player. Rubino challenges. And it's going to squirt through. We just wait for Stripes to figure this out. And they are going to wave off, no goal. They're going with, for the referee intended to blow the whistle before it rolled free, so no goal on that for Carroll. We're gonna have a face-off restart coming to Carroll's stick side. Penalty kill second shift. Puckett, Kashelhofer, Bame, Rubino. Kashelhofer sticks it down on the stick save, stick block on the centering pass. Rubino pressure in the corner. Wild sends it out to the point. Bame, shot, blocked, saved. And this one is going to count. .425 remaining in the game. On ice, we have McNally, Kahlo, Bernardo, Moore, and Adams. Wild chip it in. Kahlo gets it free, but Wild hold. Shot goes in deep off of Moore's stick. Adams picks up the loose puck behind the net, reverses directions. Sends it up the boards, Wild hold. Bernardo picks up the puck. McNally's trying to break it free, and it does clear the zone. Kahlo on the back check. McNally chips it clear of the zone. Wild reset. Wild's intent to send it in deep on the dump and chase. Adams sends it up the wall, but it's going to roll free for icing. .255 remaining. Restart coming to Dalen's glove side. My apologies for the power play still being up there. Forgot to push the button. On ice, Puckett, Miller, Bame, Kashelhofer, Wells. Hatters control, Miller chips it forward and clear. But it's not going to make it, and we're going to have icing. Restart again coming to Carroll's glove side. Wild win to the center. Shot from distance wide. Kashelhofer picks up the puck. Dumps it off for Puckett. Puckett loses handle. Kashelhofer sends it in deep. Miller pursues. Tries to reverse direction. And the Wild send it in deep for icing. .215 remaining. Restart coming to the Wild keeper's stick side. Lines are made the same for the Hatters. Face-off win for Puckett. Miller plays it back to the point, but it gets picked up by a Wild. Puck it on hard on the back check. Miller picks up the loose puck in our zone, clears it out, walks it forward. Shot from distance, it's on goal and held. Full line change for the Hatters. Devaney, Bernardo, Ridley. Moore, Rubino on ice. 1:55 remaining. Faceoff goes to the wall. Shot from distance from Rubino. It's stick down, just wide of the net. Wild send it up the wall. Send it out. Send it in on net, forcing Dalen to cover and hold for a restart. Wild win the face-off, chip it back into the corner. Centering pass, sticked back. Centering pass again, runs into the net. Bernardo picks up the puck, wheels it around. The puck is going to die and stay in the Wild zone. Shot, glove save from Carroll. 1:11 remaining. Clearing attempt looked like it was blocked into the bench. After 5 seconds, we'll have a restart coming to Carroll's stick side again. Puck squirts free. Kahlo picks up the loose puck, centering past McNally. McNally gets stuck with a back check. Adams picks up the puck, carries it in behind the net, forcing the issue around the corner. Icing is waved off as the Wild tipped it. Wells holds his own, chipped it back up the wall. Wells holds his own again, forces the puck through. McNally carries, he's not able to hold his own, carried it out. Wells sends it in. No offside is waved off. Hand goes up. Adams touches it up, and that will end the game. So after a solid start from the Hatters in the first period, it's a rough final 2 frames as the Wild converted every single one of their power play opportunities. And that is the only game on the docket today for the Hatters. They will be back again about this time tomorrow morning out of the Duluth rink.